You are listening to the D&B Yu-Gi-Oh show. Hi, my name is Dylan, and I'm with Bader. Bader's my co-host for today. Hey, Bader, how's he doing, man?
I'm good. Just off of a win in chess, and then woke up from a nap, so
Hell
I'm
yeah,
ready.
yeah. So, little catch up, I guess, from the past few weeks. It's been a while since we've done an official show. We've tried a couple times now to do a show, and we've been either cut off by some weather or just things happening. So here we are. We're back. So this week we're going to be talking about the first thing is we're going to talk about locals. I haven't been to locals in a little bit, but Bader's got at least a little bit of a story to tell. And after that, we're going to actually get to our ban list. Not prediction, but how we think the ban list went this last time around. So let's just jump right into it. So, like I mentioned, I haven't been going to locals, Yu-Gi-Oh locals anyway. I've been hitting Flesh and Blood locals hard though. Like last week, I went to I think four different Flesh and Blood four different Flesh and Blood events. I got top 8 at my first pro quest. I lost in top 8, but I mean, the first time I've been there, so I thought that was cool. So I figured I'd share that. But Bader, how was your
Good
Yu-Gi-Oh
job on that.
Yeah, thanks. How was your Yu-Gi-Oh locals in the past week or so? So,
Two weeks ago, I don't particularly remember, but this past week, it was hat format, and I don't really play alternate formats all that often, unless they're like Pegasus League, common charity stuff.
mhm.
But I don't mind hat. And I decided to show up with a deck that I really enjoy, not being Six Samurai, is actually Bujin, which makes probably some people out there moan and groan, oh, Yamato Pass, Yamato Kaiser Coliseum Pass. Well, that is exactly what I did. Um, it's a little floodgatey, but, I floodgate responsibly.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
that's all you can ask.
yeah. I actually didn't use Kaiser Coliseum too much, fortunately. I cited it out quite a bit, I've noticed. But I did manage to go 4-0 with it. Not not winning a single die roll, going second with Bujin is pretty hard. Uh, it was a lot of fun though. I was playing my first round was Gear Gia, which that was a surprise sweep for me. To be honest, I was not expecting to sweep that deck. Round two. Oh, I can't remember. I wish I would have wrote it down. Pretty much round three, I think, was a burn or a stall strategy. Round two was Geargia as well. Round three was burn or stall, I think. So they were like 2-0 up until round three, so that was pretty crazy. And then round four, the final round was like raccoons, like baby Pomponko uh, summoned from the deck the rabbit that on summon pops wind up kitten. Like, I can't remember the XYZ that they summon, but it summons like a token equal to whatever the biggest monster on the field is, and then if the token is on the field, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects or something.
Ronin
And
Raccoon?
then, yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
that that deck was terrifying. I lost the die roll. The first card he activates is gonna be meta pretty soon. Obedience School. I was like, oh, okay. So you're just gonna go +3 on me. Okay, okay. Summoned 3 dudes from the deck. Uh, made the Fabled Unicorn, which is like at the resolution of a card, if we have the same amount of cards in hand, that card is negated, which is a super hard card to interact with.
Oh yeah, that's a card that can negate Super Poly.
Yeah, it's a really hard card to. I lost that game. um, so yeah, it was just crazy. And then like game two, I don't know how I won it, but I opened a Royal Flush. I opened 3 Bujin Turtle and 2 Bujin Yamato, and then drew a Bujin Hare for turn, and it was enough, but it was pretty fun locals. 4-0, I got a special little playmat, special token, and I gave the oh I didn't play against Burn. I played against Harpies before I forget. That's what it was.
Oh, I see.
Because I played against one of our buddies, and I was pleasantly surprised that I beat him. First time I've ever beaten him in an alternate, like Time Wizard format.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, it was a great time. I was like, after that win, I was on a high. I was borrowing our judges' decks, and I was like, I'm gonna go buy max rarity Boojins. And I saw that Yamatos were $45 a piece. I'm like, I might buy ultra rare Boojins.
That's always kind of interesting because like I always don't think like when I'm thinking like Collins decks, I'm obviously not thinking like they're the best of the best because obviously I mean I don't know what's in that deck, so I'm not going to be playing that deck at max capacity, even if it is like the best of the best that that deck can be. I don't know what the cards are in it, or at least I don't know the consistencies of it. So I wouldn't think that you would. I'm not gonna say you wouldn't do well with it, but not as well as like 4-0. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I did adjust the deck a little bit to make it a little more control-y. There was like no mystical space typhoons in for it for some reason, so I threw those in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I threw some like DD Crows in just because like I kind of knew the meta and what else was good. And then I just didn't even activate the DD Crow against the Harpies player when he discarded a card that says during the end phase if this was discarded like add 3. Totally spaced it and won that game somehow. But it was a pretty good time.
Well, hell yeah, man! Congrats on your locals win, and especially during the alternate format when we have prizes and actually really cool prizes.
Oh yeah.
Well, do you have anything else to add for locals chat?
Um. Yeah, I guess like the week before I went 3-1, I lost to Crystron's, which is kind of a scary deck. Um, and I think it was because I opened like one White Forest monster and then 3 Ash and an Effect Veiler against the Talents and Crystron combo. So
Hmm. So
after the die roll.
that reminds me. So the upcoming week we've got what? It's belt format, right? Because
It is Belt Night.
so Saturday, Tuesday, you're playing sweaty advanced format for table one privileges for the month. And then there a new set coming out?
It actually just, I think it was either today or yesterday. It was officially legal to buy Alliance Insight.
Well, hell yeah. Maybe next week we'll have to look at some of the cards coming out of it that have been seeing play. But yeah, so look out for those cards if you're at locals, and then we'll be moving on to banlist talk. So obviously be on the lookout for new cards coming out. Yeah, like I said, the next week or so, new decks are going to be real good. New stuff coming out. I know for Mitsurugi, I think is one of the decks that's going to get. I mean, it's already pretty hot, but I think there's getting more cards, right?
Oh yeah, and it's real good stuff.
I think what Malice is getting new cards. Am I mistaken with that?
Yeah, they're getting like it's kind of like a Bestial. Just target one of your Malices engrave and special summon it, and it doesn't really have too much on the field, but it's just being able to quick effect banish one of your Malice monsters at Bestial speed without your opponent having a monster is kind of crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, some of the decks that were either fringe. I mean, meta. I won't say Malice was fringe, but some fringe decks in like the Mitsurugi, and then obviously good decks in Malice getting some new stuff. So that's always cool. So be on the lookout for that. And now we're going to talk about the ban list that happened not last week, but the week before, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point. It's been a while. I think it's been I think it was 3 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah,
Uh,
I want to say about 3 weeks.
So I happen to have those up, so I'm going to swap over to the other screen. Boop. Very nice. Okay, so we look at the unlimited cards first. So we're just going to work our way down, I believe. I think that's how I have it set up. So first card on the list is Cyberjar. Uh, what are your thoughts on Cyberjar? Going to 3.
I'm gonna keep it a fat stack with you, dude. I don't even know what this card does. I
Uh,
have not seen it resolve ever.
so on flip, it destroys all monsters on the field. Then you reveal the top 5 cards of both players' decks. All level 4 or lower monsters that can be special summoned get special summoned in either attack or face down defense. And then the rest of the cards go to the hand. So
That sounds like a very fun locals deck.
yeah, so I don't know if it's something that is really gonna see a lot of play, being it's a flip monster, but I know a specific deck in gosh, no, I thought I had the flip monster deck that came out recently. Gosh. Um Mimighoul.
Oh, Mimigul?
Yeah. So it's an earth monster, so I'm pretty sure they can just search this and put it on the battlefield. Um
Hmm.
Kind of neat. Next on the list are Danger, Jackalope, and Sushinoko. They're just gonna get tag team together. Uh, Quick thoughts. I think it's great. Love to see those cards back. Uh,
Honestly, yeah. Especially being they're both level 3s, right?
yes.
Yeah. I mean, you could play like a small Cherubini danger package and something if you have a like Crystron's, I guess, can make Cherubini with those. And Tsuchinoko is always a guaranteed summon, which is really good.
Yeah, and now all of the danger monsters are back to 3. We had Nessie, Jackalope, and Sushinoko. They were all limited at one point, but now they're all back. So it's good to see nature healing a little bit. Um, Moving on, we've got Eva, the light fairy. Um, this is kind of one of those. It was a pretty strong card when it came out, but it hasn't like the decks that could play it really aren't playing it anymore. You know, they've moved on to better things. So I think it's cool if it comes back.
Yeah, Drytron's kind of playing pure Drytron at the moment.
And the last card on the unlimit list is Performapal Monkey Board. Uh, yeah, pendulums. Um, it's one of those.
The anti, right?
Yeah, I don't think the pendulum decks are all that hot, and even in the pendulum decks, I don't think that they're playing this. Maybe they are, but it's not a real consistent piece for the decks that are pendulum summoning at the moment. So we're gonna move on to the semi-limit list, and this semi-limit list is huge. This might be the largest the semi-limit list has ever been. I don't know if it's ever been this big. A lot of cards on it. Uh,
Yeah.
So first, 2 on the list, we're gonna go White Dragon, Wyvern Buster, and Black Dragon Clap Serpent.
Those I'm personally really excited about. I think those are really cool cards. Um, and basically uh, always being able to resolve each monster at least once is really cool. For like Dragon Link, for any kind of like chaos based deck. I think it's really cool, and I even like kind of brainstormed or mapped out whatever like a malice kind of build with using these guys as like bodies to extend with because they don't activate, so you can just special summon the white dragon by banishing a monster and then link it and the malice monster off, and then you got 2 more bodies because you'll search black. It's just a cool monsters. I like this.
And they're both level 4, right?
Yes.
And the Malice monsters are dark monsters, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, you get a little bit of, I wouldn't say consistency in those decks, but I mean always having 1 to 2 bodies is very nice, very nice. Moving on to some level 4 monsters, we've got X Tyraziel and Ice Ryziel, and Sword Ryziel, all 3 of them moving from 3 to 2. I think maybe not predicted them all going to 2, but we definitely mentioned that they could possibly be seeing a hit. Um, this is not the direction I thought they were going to go with it, though.
Yeah, a lot of people thought they were going to go like X to 1 and Bonfire to 1. And nope, they did actually a pretty good job on consistency hits for this deck, in my opinion.
Yeah, how do you think the deck plays after the hit? Because like I've seen some pretty extreme cases in both directions actually. Because I think the pure Ryzeal deck is much worse off because you have less monsters to work with. But I feel like if you splash some cards in it, that it gets pretty crazy. Um,
Yeah, the Mitsugiri variant was really scary last format. And then the Shark version as well, being able to summon Bahamut, Shark, and Toad were really good. And they're getting a new card in the next set, Ryzeal Star, but all that really does is just add like more search cards in it because it searches for like the spell traps. Um, I could still see it being a really strong deck this format.
yeah, I mean, the detonator's a really good card, and being able to just non-target pop. Well, no, it targets, but pop 3+ times is pretty crazy.
And you know what's crazy
Was it?
is Bujin's is a rank 4 base deck, so I could play Bujin Ryzeal if I wanted to.
I'm going to say you won't.
You're right. Shout
Uh,
out to Yamato still.
all right. Well, moving on to the other very meta deck of the last format. It's Malice. I'm seeing Dormouse, White Rabbit, and Malice and Underground. Um, Again, not the direction I thought they were going with this. But yeah, monsters. I think we said Dormouse, but I think we said Dormouse to 1. So yeah, everything move into 2, and then Malice in the Underground. That's their like in archetype card that they're trying to end the game with. So it's pretty cool to see that. I mean, not cool to see it go, but that card is pretty nuts. Just giving your monsters like 3K attack.
I've got to be honest, I've never read Underground. All I know is it banishes from the deck, but
Oh yeah,
it it, it's a pretty good consistency hit, like they did for Ryzeal.
yeah. If they happen to just keep it on the board and they are deciding to go through the access code line, there's a really cool line of text on this card, and I'm pulling it up so I can read it to you. Uh, Let me see. Malice link monsters you control gain 3,000 attack. So yeah,
What?
yeah, that's a big number.
That's like a whole Blue Eyes White Dragon.
That's a big monster. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I don't know how, like I'm sure these hits are going to matter. But Malice is still slotted to be one of the best decks of this format. So um, it's good to see the adjustment. We'll see how much it really matters.
For
Um,
sure.
so moving on to a solo monster. It's Morphing Jar going from I think 1 to 2. I mean, I'm assuming 1 to 2. And this goes right along with that Cyber Jar of it flips, you discard your hand and draw 5. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I thought this card was at 3, so
yep, no, it's I mean, you can play those. No, you can play 5 of those flip monsters that reveal the top 5 card. I mean, this card doesn't reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, but yeah, it definitely shows you the top 5 cards of your deck. So interesting. Um, I know we're gonna probably be seeing it in a flip monster mill strategy. I'm sure that's already been seeing play at locals. So I'm sure the player that plays it's having a great time having 2 of that monster and then 3 of the cyber
oh
jar.
yeah,
So moving on, we've got both Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Poplar. Um, I don't know how I feel about these ones. I like these one. This one's monsters were really good. Not a few formats ago now. Um, were they weren't banned? Were they? Were they limited or were they banned?
They were both limited. The only direct ban I think that deck got is just extra deck monsters like Link Karibo, Borlode Savage Dragon, Baron de Fleur, Apollosa.
It did have the spell original Snake Eye, or
Yeah, that got banned as well.
and that is probably the reason why it's able to come back, or at least to two, is they're not literally splashing it in every single deck possible.
Yeah, normal summon Snake Eye Ash was a terrifying thing to see at any point in time.
So yeah, it's very cool to see these comes back and at the same consistency the rest of the meta is at. So kind of cool. Moving down the list, at 2 we've got Unchained Shavara, Unchained Soul of Shavara, I should say. So yeah, this is the last of the semi-limits, and yeah, Unchained. I mean, how many formats ago was Unchained the deck? Like,
That was so long. That was like 2 years ago, I feel like.
so yeah, it's about time that this can come back to 2. I mean, it's not terribly strong. I mean, it is good and it's strong, and Unchained does have some really good interactions, but it's definitely, it's not the best deck, and I think this is a good buff to Yubel, which isn't, again, the best deck in this format either. So it's cool to give them a little bit of tech to help them keep up with the rest of the meta.
For sure.
All right, that's all the semi-limited lists. Let's move on to the limited cards. And I am on the wrong tab. All right, boom. First limited card, the one they are showing, it's Shifter. This is probably the big one that everyone's super happy about. At least I assume anyway.
Oh yeah.
I think this probably has the biggest implications of any other card on the ban list. I think. It definitely changes a lot of deck building decisions. Just because it's like, most people are like, I don't even have to worry about Shifter anymore because people are either just going to see it the one time or they're not going to see it at all. And I'm not sure if putting Shifter in your deck is even worth it. It kind of seems like a liability to me. So
Yeah, I'm assuming a lot of people are just gonna take it out completely because I think the percentage of opening one copy of Shifter in your opening hand going first was, I don't know, like 50 or 40 something percent. And now seeing your one of in a 40 card deck, it just drastically tanks.
yeah, it's such poor odds to see it. So yeah, that's going, and that was a huge hit to mainly rogue decks, but definitely Malice. Malice was the meta deck using it, so it's a outside archetype hit to Malice. Another outside of the archetype hit to Malice, but also overreaching for the whole meta is Bestial Druis Worm. Now,
Yeah, this one about time to go.
yeah, just the DD crows that have like being 2,500 bodies and being interaction was such a problem, and I feel like now that they're weaning them out, they're not getting rid of, like, they still have 3 of the bad ones, I will say. But yeah, limiting both Magnamut and Druis Worm, I think are good, and I think they're good for the overall meta. And then obviously, yeah, just this. I think Malice is still going to play the one Druis Worm, the one Magnamut, and then who knows how many other Bestials. But just the consistency, you're not as likely to open it being good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's probably the worst card on the whole list, and this is the like, why are we doing this? But it's Masterpiece, the true Draco slaying king. Back to 1. So, what do you think of Masterpiece?
I'm gonna keep a fat stack with you yet again. I don't think this is a problem. Droll is in the format right now, and it's a crazy card. True Draco can be slotted into any deck, but with only one diagram, one Masterpiece. It's a Floodgate Turbo deck, but like it's just not going to be able to keep up, I feel.
Yeah, I think the deck is holding it back at this point, because I feel like literally anybody can play Chaos Angel, and you can just make Chaos Angel and whack over it.
Yeah.
It is kind of
It,
annoying, but yeah, it's legal. Go ahead, try it.
and the thing with Masterpiece is it's almost always unaffected by two different card types. Most people are going to try to summon it with a spell and monster, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, which, with Imperm being printed now, and it's so strong in everyone's main deck, you Imperm that Masterpiece going first, and then they're just like, well, I guess I'll die.
Yeah.
They got to rely on their floodgates at that point.
Well, here's another one of those cards of like, why did we bring this back? It's Mathmex Circular.
Oh, God, no. Yeah.
This is one of those. This is
This
like,
one,
yeah, go for it. Like, go. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
okay, yeah, like as soon as I saw this, like my first instinct was obviously with Ryziel. It's like this plus any level 4 or any Ryziel monster is just such insane advantage. Granted, the advantage plays more into Droll and Nibiru. Uh, if your opponent has minimal or no interaction, this just pops off. It's crazy. Um, their trap card Super Factorial is it's still a powerhouse. Being able to take a card out of your hand, field, and your hand, your spell trap zone, and your monster zone is just crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
having an Omni negate built in.
And back when Mathmech was I would say a meta deck, Bestials were one of the cards keeping it in check, and now we're having less Bestials. I'm not sure if Mathmech is really going to see a huge resurgence, but it is definitely going to be good slotted into those Ryziel decks.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Ryziel decks, we've got another Ryziel hit in Ryziel Detonator.
Very much so deserved. If Trident is banned, Detonator can be limited.
Yeah. I think with Dryden, it's just because it's super easy to make. Like just having literally any Zodiac monster and then just like stacking kind of makes it um a problem. But Detonator, what is it even? Do you even need a Ryziel monster to make it, or can you just make it with 2 level 4s?
So Detonator is actually Ryziel specific.
Mm-hmm.
However, Duo Drive, you can detach to search for 2 Ryziel cards. Duo Drive is generic. So if you play just any 2 Ryziel monsters or whatever in your deck, you can do like your full combo.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this in White Forest actually. I did my full White Forest combo, and then I can bring back my level 4s from the graveyard, overlay those into a duo drive, detach to search for X and sword, then special X, special sword, overlay into detonator.
And that's 2 pops on top of your whole board of interactions. So very strong.
Actually, it's still 3 pops because unlike duo drive, detonator can attach any monster from the graveyard.
Oh yeah. So 3 of your cards are either I mean they're getting popped, but also I mean like I said on top of a board of interaction, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, so this is a well deserved limit in my opinion.
Speaking of well-deserved limits, it's Bonfire, a staple from the Snake Eye era, and it's seen play all the way. I mean, it's still seeing play. Like your people are still putting Bonfire in their decks. I mean, because Rhoda's a good card, so Rhoda for
Yeah.
Pyro monsters is probably just as good.
Oh yeah, pyros have gotten a lot better in more recent history.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like another Ryziel hit, mainly because that's that's the main deck that's playing it right now. Just because they have combo through finding a is that one is it fire? I'm assuming, or is it sword? Or they're all pyros?
I think it's ice that's actually sword is a fire attribute, but it's the light attribute monsters that are the pyros.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, they have combo through that. Um, moving down the list now. we actually called this one as a Brilliant Fusion to 1. When we were looking at cards that came out in the QCR set Stampede, we were like, look at Brilliant Fusion. Wouldn't it be cool if Brilliant Fusion came to 1? Think of all the cool things they could do with it. Well, here we are, and I don't know if anybody's even playing it.
No, but what's funny is like in this little pile deck I built, I teched in a Brilliant Fusion and a couple Tier Element cards and Fiendsmith cards. So like if you normal summon Orphis Scorpio, you can search the Brilliant Fusion, activate the Brilliant Fusion. There's a Gym Knight that's an Aqua monster or Aqua type.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then you can also send Fiendsmith Engraver. So then you have an Engraver for your light, for your Seraphonite in your grave. You have an Aqua monster. So if you can like get into tier monsters into your graveyard by card effect, you already have 2 materials for your Kaleido Heart, which is just pretty cool. And it's a level 4, so obviously drawing it is pretty bad because it's a vanilla. But you can like normal summon it, special summon another level 4, go into like whatever plays you can. I don't know.
All right.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Hear me out. Normal summon this bad Gem Knight monster. You got to special summon Sheeran, overlay them into Duo Drive.
Oh no.
Send the Sheeran. It's by card effects, so Sheeran will activate.
I was just about to say it actually would, yeah.
That's probably not a thing you would do, but it is a legal line that you can do.
You could do it. Probably shouldn't though, but it's legal.
Well, moving on now to 2 cards. I'm gonna put them together. I'm not sure if I really should be, but it's Crossout Designator and Triple Tactics Talent. Those are both now limited.
Yeah, this cross out for a long time is it's had its target on its back.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, it's been. I think it's either semi. I think it's limited in the OCG, maybe banned. I think it's limited though. And then, so obviously we're playing different formats, but they do have a pretty good. It's a pretty good indication, especially for generic cards. If they're like, oh well, this generic card's pretty busted. We're gonna hit it on the ban list. It's very likely that we'll see some sort of adjustment on our list as well.
Yeah.
Cross out, yeah, it's pretty busted, and obviously Called by the Grave is its counterpart. It's also limited, so I'm sure we'll probably won't see any sort of move on it, at least for a while. It's probably going to be really good in mirror matches, just like, oh well, I'm going to have this just in case they do this, I'm going to banish it from my deck. But that's probably the best case scenario for it.
Yeah, I actually did have that happen in a mirror match for me. Cross outing a what is it called? Deceptions of the Sinful Spoil, and just made them lose so much advantage. They were upset.
So my best crossout designator story is we were playing. It was during the traditional format night that we played a very long time ago. I had a player activate Painful Choice against me, and I had crossout designator, and I crossout designated a Painful Choice. That felt so good. So yeah, that's probably the best case I've ever had for it. But yeah, you can do that. Very legal.
That's actually pretty funny.
And then moving on to the Triple Tactics Talent, the other card. It's the one would prevent you. Crossout Designator prevents you from getting interacted with. Triple Tactic Talents lets you plus if you get interacted with. I think it's a very interesting hit. Being Triple Tactic Thrust is still at 3, and I feel like that would be the one you'd want to hit. I think anyway. But
no, I would say Talents probably because like if you're going first, you're doing combo, you get interrupted with like an Ash or an Imperm. Let's see, best case scenario, you have both Crossout and Thrust. They Imperm or they Effect Veiler you or Ash you. You cross out calling Effect Veiler Ash, resolve your card effect, and then you drop Talents to look at their hand, and then it's just unfair. Thrust, yeah, you can grab talents, but then they have to have a monster to add it to your hand, or they can grab like a floodgate with thrust. But both cards are strong, but talents probably deserve the limit in my opinion.
And who knows? I mean, I'm sure we'll probably see a thrust limit here eventually too, because yeah, adding like dimensional barrier or any amount of normal trap cards is still just or setting normal trap cards is just as strong as adding any normal spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the whole limited list, and we got one more list to go through. It's the banned cards, a very small list, but very good cards on the list. We're gonna start with the floodgates. Nightmare Griffin. So this is now the third nightmare monster that's banned. Uh,
Yep.
very strong. So of the six of them, three of them are banned. I don't see Phoenix getting banned. I don't see Cerberus seeing play ever. So yeah, and then Unicorn's strong. It's good, but it's not like broken, and the draw effect on it is never gonna happen anymore. I won't say never gonna
Yeah.
happen, but very unlikely that it's going to happen. So these are probably the only ones that are gonna get banned. But yeah, Griffin real strong. No longer are the days of sending a floodgate with Curious and then summoning Nightmare Griffin co-linked and then setting that floodgate from your graveyard.
Yeah, that was pretty toxic back when Curious was legal too.
Yeah. So to that we salute you, Nightmare Griffin. Moving on to the other floodgate, it's Abyss Dweller. And this is a card I feel like has been getting asked to get banned for a very long time. But I'm not sure. Like I said, this is one of those. I'm not sure how it's actually going to fully pan out. Like, I, I, I think it's. I mean, I don't know. Like, it sucked when you had Dweller hit against you, but most of the time, when I was playing against it and I got hit with Dweller, is like, yeah, I probably deserve it.
I mean, yeah, it's a very strong card, but sometimes I would consider it on level with like anti-spell fragrance versus like a pendulum deck. For some decks, it's kind of just a total shutdown, and that's not very fun to a lot of players. And obviously, that's why it's been being everyone's been like clamoring for it to get banned for like 9 years, is what it feels like.
It has definitely been a long time. Um, yeah. Well, now we've got the two floodgates out of the way. Let's go with Link Decoder. This is I won't say a direct hit to Malice, but Malice is really the only deck abusing this, and it has been legal since 2019, 2020 era, I think. Um, yeah, it really hasn't seen play until Malice, and now it's banned. Who knew making using or creating two link material with the same monster is broken?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Uh, a lot of people were expecting it, but uh, it's definitely a reasonable one. They were really trying to hit consistency for Malice without slaughtering the deck, and I think this was a really good list for hitting both Malice and Ryzeal's consistency.
Oh yeah, like especially being how good they were last format and them wanting to introduce or at least even the playing field a little bit for this ban list. This is a good non-archetype hit that smooths it out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And the last and final card for our ban list talk is Bahamut Shark.
So I don't think I talked about this or we talked about it in our ban list like wish list.
Mm-hmm.
But like outside of it, like I was thinking of just personally like the best ways to hit Atlantean Mermaid. I don't think they would ban Moon Glacia. That just seemed weird to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
Bahamut Shark was my only thing I could think of, or limiting Dragoons again. And they went for the Bahamut Shark, and I was excited. I think that is a awesome hit because it stops any kind of rank 4 deck that can just activate a spell and search for surfacing jaws, it just shuts them off from an Omni Negate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are plenty of decks making Bahamut Shark. I won't say plenty of decks, but at least like there are a few good decks that could make Bahamut Shark, and just having Toad access is pretty strong. So you can still make Toad, but you're just not going to get the free and easy way in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole list. So as a whole, what do you think about the ban list?
I really like it. The only thing that I could complain about are things that aren't necessary. They're just personal pet peeves. Uh, so I think this is probably one of if not the best ban list that we've had in a long, long time.
Yeah, I've had my thoughts about it, and I'm not happy with some of the hits, but I think that the problems that I foresaw are not happening. So I think I'm okay with it. My big thing I was thinking about was uh Shifter being hit, and like the things that would creep up with Shifter being gone. My one fear is Dark World just becoming a deck again, and then just hand ripping, and then obviously that's just no fun. But I think cards like the Molcharmies and Troll are really kind of gatekeeping that deck.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were actually worried about, and especially with the introduction of Meowls from the last set.
Hmm.
Anytime they special summon from the graveyard, you're drawing a card. They're never decking you out.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I don't even think they could deck you out if they took like the Mold Charmy challenge without hand ripping you.
no, I really don't think so. Especially not this version. I mean, obviously you could if you had the pre errata firewall and you were able to do the loop, but there's no loop to
Yeah,
do. So I think it's okay. Um, it's that's one of those things though. You have to have those cards. Yeah, but outside of that, I think it was a good list. A lot of consistency hits for the best decks. A lot of evening the playing field for decks that weren't seeing a ton of play. And then obviously big floodgate hits. And then obviously generic just hits like the Bahamut Shark and uh, Talents and Crossout. So cards I've been wanting to see hit finally being hit. Making the best decks not quite as good. Um, yeah, I think this is a good overall list, and I think good for the overall health of the game.
no, I absolutely agree with you. It's been a really good format, to be honest.
And I have been playing Flesh and Blood. I've been missing out on it.
Well, as soon as you come back to locals, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a lot better time than we've had in the past formats.
Yeah, I'm gonna start showing up the locals again because obviously I won't say obviously, but my Flesh and Blood super grind is kind of coming to an end, at least for this season. So I'll be showing up and hanging out with the guys.
Excuse me. I'll be ready to accept you with arms wide open.
And I think that's going to be the end of the show. We've talked about the things we want to talked about some locals, talked about some ban list stuff. And you know what? That means we get to save some talk for next week. So, Bader, do you have any parting words before we go?
You know, subscribe to Duel Radio. I feel like I haven't plugged that in a hot minute.
It's been like 3 weeks. So yeah, plugs, obviously subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow Bader on YouTube. Got some cool stuff always. You just posted not too terribly long ago, right? You did a combo video, or was it a deck profile? I can't remember.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember either. I think it might have been a combo tutorial. Oh,
Yes.
it was a deck profile actually.
Was it the White Forest one?
Yeah, White Force to Zamna.
Yeah, so go check that out. And if you want to watch us live, we are live on Thursdays at 7, starting at 7. Play a little game of chess, and then we jump into this. And then if you're wanting to watch the playback, we're uploading at noon on the Friday after. Possibly, I am going to be looking at starting multi-streaming, so we are going to be streaming both on Twitch and YouTube, hopefully here soon. So then you're going to be able to get the D&B Yu-Gi-Oh show Thursday night on YouTube, along with Twitch. So then, yeah, a lot less work for me. You guys get stuff faster the night of. Very cool. Hopefully that's next week. We'll see how long it takes me to get this all set up. But yeah, cool things on the way. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Bader's going to get out of here. We're going to do things we do afterwards. Mainly me editing, but maybe zombies after that, or maybe some Oblivion, because I've been grinding some Oblivion.
I'm going to open a box of Alliance Insight.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Well, maybe next week we can get how your polls were.
Hell yeah.
But to close out the show, support your local game store. It is where you meet new people, and it's where you play games. And if you're lucky, you just might see us there. All right. And for Bader and myself, bye.
Bye, everybody. Can't wait to open this Alliance Insight.
I hope you get the Gregorian Slayer card, because that card's cool. I don't think that card's like good. I mean, it's probably playable, but it's probably not the best of the best.
You know, the card exists, and that's what it is.
The card says banish cards face down, so you know I'm playing it.
Yeah, when